Bustin Unions makes Jeff feel good, which might explain his divorce. We've all heard Jeff's little bookshop likes to work overtime to ensure that its staff don't gain collective bargaining power over their pay and working conditions. But how do they actually do that? In this video, we're going to look at the top 4 methods Amazon uses to bust unions. Part 1. Why is Amazon worried about their staff unionizing? Their official line is that unions get in the way of the direct dialogue between Amazon and their employees.
And we share our preference for a direct working relationship frequently and boldly, even when no organizing activity has occurred.
Although I'd argue the fingers in their ears are more likely to stop that dialogue, but in reality, it's all about control. Right now, workers can bang on about their grueling conditions, inadequate pay, and limited breaks to their heart's content. But there's little to nothing they can actually do about it on an individual level. Amazon have offered customers insane delivery options and expect staff to work as well on the 60th hour as they did on the first, which just isn't possible. Their humanoid robots are still a few years off, so as for now, Jeff needs human workers, but at a cost so low it should be illegal, but somehow it isn't. Here are the top 4 ways that Amazon stop unions forming. Method 1. Lobbying. It's a classic of the genre for a reason, and Amazon spends billions lobbying everything and anything each year, and unions are no exception. In fact, their lobbying budget goes up in line with inflation, and when you take into account the number of people they employ, it works out about £13 per year per person to stop the unions forming, which if anything, is a bargain. When you start working at Amazon, they make their stance clear.
We are not anti-union, but we are not neutral either.
Which would imply that they're pro-union? But all new staff have to sit through anti-union videos like this. A video that looks like someone was trying to make a parody of South Park with no budget. Out of respect for you and the entertainment value of this video, I'm not going to show you this in its entirety because why would anyone want to watch that? But if you are someone who is mentally ill and feels like wasting half an hour of their time, I'll put the link in the description below. But in short, a lot of the workers at Amazon are only working there because they need this thing called money, because they like to do this thing called living. And they do get scared when some of the higher ups tell them that the working conditions could be worse under a union, or they could get fired.
Do you believe
in Amazon's right to make choices about your working conditions above and beyond your own mental health and well-being?
If there's a steady paycheck in it, I'll believe anything you say.
See, it turns out trying to get unionized is a bit like Schrodinger's box. Until the cat is in the box, all bets are off, and anti-union workers can make all kinds of wild predictions about how much better or worse the working conditions will be. However, unions have to be realistic with what they can offer. And because there are no laws governing these scare tactics that anti-union workers can use, they get pretty creative in the ways they stop people voting for things they don't like. And trying to work out fact from fiction is like trying to unravel a ball of string with more string. Method 2. Hiring staff. In order for a union to form, the majority of the staff need to vote to sign up. It's also worth noting that not every member of staff has to join up if the vote passes and a union is formed. It's like a wedding. One person can object, but if everyone else in the room is on board, the wedding is going ahead. Unless that one person is the groom because they found out the bride has been sleeping with their personal trainer, Troy, even though they were told there was nothing to worry about. Hypothetically. So by doubling their workforce in a short span of time at an estimated cost of $300,000 per week means fewer people are likely to vote for the union. When you first join a company and you're immediately thrust into a big debate and you've not got all the information, only a fool would vote to change something without having all the facts. Equally, some of those people might have been employed because they don't like unions or they're scared of them.
Ray, when someone asks you
in a job interview if you would vote against a union,
say yes!
Either way, by diluting the workforce, it makes gaining votes much harder. Method 3. Monitoring staff. It's no secret that Amazon monitor their staff in multiple different ways, but for the sake of this video, we're going to focus on 2 specific methods. Firstly, hiring intelligence analysts to monitor labour organising threats. To be fair, they did delete from that job description and then denied the job ever existed. Although later they landed on the PR line that the job did exist, but the pesky journalist had willfully misunderstood the job spec. All they wanted the person to do was analyse union data, monitor employees' emails, and closed Facebook groups. So, you can see why the journalists were getting confused. And secondly, they also nicely asked staff to report anyone using the word union or discussing unionizing to management. I think it was Shook Knight who said, snitchers get a shiny penny from management for helping keep the unions at bay. They also have a short list of signs to look out for, including...
Examples include associates who normally aren't connected to each other suddenly hanging out together. Associates who were close suddenly stop speaking to each other. Groups of associates scatter when approached by management.
Although all of these signs could equally apply to prisoners planning a riot, or a group of people who have never met before trying to plan a hen party. Are you troubled by people discussing unionizing around you?
Do you experience feelings of dread
when you see people who weren't friends before now being chummy?
You or any of your
Co-workers been passing out flyers to do with unions?
If the answer is yes, then don't wait another minute.
Pick up the phone and call middle management. They also have a list of union words, including living wage, grievance, and help, I'm having to piss in a bottle to make my deliveries on time. Method 4, by not hiring them at all. Gig workers like Amazon Flex drivers are often seen as independent contractors, so often have different legal rights or are not covered by the same labour laws which protect employees' rights to unionise. So, by offering these employees the flexibility of working for Amazon, as and when Amazon need them, Amazon not only waste a lot of their time, money and energy in the pursuit of faster delivery times, they also don't need to worry about them unionising because gig workers can't yet. And that, friends, is how Amazon busts unions. Godspeed.